Hey, everybody, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. Doesn't it seem like we were just here a few minutes ago? About 24 hours ago, we were right here, seated in this spot. I told you I was going to stay right here, waiting for all of you. We do our shows live, we do them daily, and we're doing another one for you here, too. We've got an extraordinary guest coming in from California. Extraordinary is the word. That's an understatement for celebrity impressionist, comedian, voice artist, producer extraordinaire, and of course, the son of the glorious and the legendary Marion Ross, you know, from Happy Days, Mrs. C. We had her as a special guest on the show. Yes, if you didn't see the episode where Marion Ross was with us, she was extraordinary, coming to us from the Happy Days farm. She was just nothing but warm and effervescent, funny, engaging. And Jim was on that episode as well, which was fantastic. What we wanted to, so check that out. You can binge watch that episode on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, the episode where the wonderful Marion Ross was here. We wanted to explore more with Jim too, because he is a brilliant talent himself. And we're just so excited to have him. There he is, of course, with his lovely mom, Marion. We love these photos, and again, really, really fantastic people. So honored to have Jim on the show, and I'm going to talk about the incredible things that he's doing right now. He's been involved in 3 major projects. Literally, he just got in the door a few hours ago. He's still spinning, and he's in high demand. He's very talented. But before we welcome him on the show, real quick, how are you doing? Welcome. This is our entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we're excited to always have here for you. We're approaching 650 episodes live 7 days a week. And this is just a side thing. It's not even my full-time job. I can't believe 650. My God, that's incredible. That's more than some Broadway shows and TV series last. But it's a lot of fun, gang. And it's so good to see all of your smiley faces. This is your host, Jim Masters. And we see a lot of comments building up here. Feel free. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Jim is not only talented, he is incredibly quick-witted. He is funny. And you know, that's somehow when your name is Jim and your last name starts with M, you tend to be quick-witted and funny. Just saying. Yeah, he really, really is. And we're so excited to see him here in just a second. But I see these comments coming in. So, gang, if you would like to comment during the show, we do have a live JMS chat room that is open right now during the live show. You can chat amongst each other. We can see your comments as well, which is really cool. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Jim Masters TV, the channel you're watching right now. And that's an exclusive gift for all of our subscribers. You get to chat in our exclusive chat room live right now. Ask any questions, say hello, tell us how you're doing. Whatever you like to do. We do have an international audience who watches from all around the world. Our show comes out of the United States, the New York area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. So wherever you're watching, whatever time of day it is, it's so nice to have you here. We do say hello to our JMS Lovity Squad. That's our real faithful who watches the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series all the time. We appreciate that. If this is your first time watching, thank you for being here. Welcome to Lovity Hall, as we call it, and the Jim Masters Show Live. We hope you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Very easy to do. Just click the red button. There's no cost. That really, really helps us out when you do, helps us grow. You become part of the Lovity family here, the Jim Masters Show Live. And make sure you click that notification bell so you never miss any of the episodes that are live. There are over 600 plus episodes available for your binge watching enjoyment. So check it out. Good to see everybody. We welcome you. And again, time to have the incredible Jim Meskimen join us here on the show. Now, just want to tell you a little bit about his extraordinary career. I just really scratched the surface there for a second. He's well known for many TV and film appearances. He's appeared on the British series Whose Line Is It Anyway? Several times. Was a recurring character on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for 2 seasons. He also worked with director Ron Howard on 5 of his films, including The Paper, Apollo 13, Ed TV, How the Grinch Stole Christmas in 2000, Frost Nixon 2008. He's also worked in films with Paul Thomas Anderson, the director. Professional artist Jim exhibits and sells his realist oil paintings as well. And as a designer and cartoonist, he's created dozens of characters, weapons, and vehicles for the original Thundercats animated series. Did you know that? Absolutely. He continues to dazzle audiences with his improvisational skills and regularly appears on the stages in Los Angeles as well. Working on this incredible new series for Apple TV, The Big Door Prize, which is really exciting. That's with Julia Roberts and Sean Penn, Al Pacino, Carol Kane, just to name a few. Not too shabby a list there, huh? Of course, he's the son of Golden Globe and Emmy-nominated actress, the wonderful Marion Ross of Happy Days fame. He's the voice of Colonel Sanders in advertising for KFC. That's right, since 2017. He appears in all-star virtual series Viral Vignettes and lots more, starring in the American Auto and next season of Hunters, just to name a few. He was also a contestant, impressionist on America's Got Talent in 2013. Yes, do you remember that? I know a lot of you do watch that series, and he was terrific in that as well. I don't know if you saw that that episode, but it was really, really cool. And as a matter of fact, look what we've got here. This is singers, performers, and even some folks I've talked to have come through as guests. Did you ever, like some of them have said that because their parent was so extraordinarily beloved and successful, that they, not all, but a couple of them said that they felt that they were sort of in the shadow, or they'll never equal what, that celebrity parent, whatever they do, all the adulation and the fame and just all of the notoriety that comes with it all, they'll never. So they go in a completely different direction. I will not do what they do because I'll never be able to equal or top that. Was there ever any thought of, oh my God, she's beloved on every street corner. I mean, there she is. She's terrific. Did you ever feel like you were in the shadow at all, or you embraced it all and it was part of the whole thing?
Well, I tell you, Jim, there's a lot of ways a person can get very confused about that whole world, the television and fame and money and exposure, and it's just a gazillion ways to get totally confused about it. You could feel like you're in their shadow. You could feel like you're in a competition. You can feel like you're not worthy. I think that for me, the big breakthrough was in just sort of deciding what I wanted to do. And even though I'm an actor and pursue basically, the same kind of things that she was pursuing, I have my own set of goals. I have my own approach. I have my own interests, and we definitely overlap. But I think whenever you kind of sort out what it is that you really want to do, then the other stuff gets less confusing. I mean, you could be just as worked up and jealous or confused about another person outside of the family who has a similar career and go, God, I'll never be as good as that guy or that girl. And it's a waste of your bandwidth. I think you need to just sort of sort out, what am I trying to do, and get busy as the dickens in doing that.
Exactly right, which you've done so beautifully and continue to do. I love the fact that you go into impressions, because you don't see a lot of people doing that as much as they used to. And same thing I was saying it the other day, I love ventriloquism too. And that's been sort of a dying art. And I've always loved the ventriloquists as well. So for you to play off, I mean, you're so incredible. I mean, you do look like you could be Bryan Cranston's brother.
Thank you. Yes. Well, we've worked together before.
More and more.
I admire him a lot. Yeah, he and I both kind of came up out of a very similar sort of pot of people in the acting community. I used to see him at commercial auditions. We'd both be up for the same kind of thing. I think he was the spokesman for TGI Fridays once, and then a year later, I was a spokesman for TGI Fridays. he turned down a film role for some reason. I'm not sure, to play Mary-Kate and Ashley's dad in the movie when they went to Australia.
Oh yeah.
And I got it because he turned it down, and I got to go to Australia. So I feel a kinship with him.
What would you say is probably one of the first early breaks for you that you carved out yourself, where people started to really pay attention to your talent?
I got really, really fortunate one day. I was a young man hustling around New York, probably 26 years old, 25, 26. And I was schlepping my art portfolio around because I was still kind of running a freelance career as an artist, an illustrator, to support my auditioning and trying to get in a good paying commercial job or something. And I was doing improv at night and on the weekends. So there was just never a dull moment. And I remember going across the river to Queens and showing my portfolio to this company. What they were looking for, they were a small manufacturer, and they were looking for people who could paint big portraits of cats' faces, to put, realistic cats' faces, super cute, with the pink nose, to put on different, I don't know, tote bags. And
like
I'm looking at it going,
Heathcliff type stuff. Yeah.
Well, but very realistic, realistic looking cats, and super cute, and I was looking, I was thinking, well, I guess I could, I have the skills, I could do it. I'm, that interested in it. I'll do it for the paycheck, right? And I went home, and then I had an audition. So I schlepped uptown on the east side to go to this audition. And the audition was for a grocery chain in Texas called Skaggs Alpha Beta. And it was an improvised, they were looking for somebody to interview people in the stores and to have a fun time, and to not make fun of the customers, but just sort of have a nice conversation and to lend a kind of feeling of friendliness to the brand. So I fooled around with the guys. That was the copywriters were there, the people from the advertising agency, the people that I auditioned with, and I wound up getting this job. And at first it was for like 3 commercials. They flew me down to Texas, and I interviewed, 60, 70 people. And because I'd been doing a lot of improv training, it was really a walk in the park. It was so easy, so fun. Then they cut these together into wonderful commercials that did very well. And then they came back and said, okay, we like those 3. Now we want you to do a whole year of commercials for us, radio and TV, like that. And I wound up working with them for 5 years, all their advertising. That was a huge breakthrough, because suddenly, it was a good contract, and it kept, every year it would get a little higher. You don't see contracts like that too much anymore, but at the time it was like, are you kidding?
Right.
So I suddenly had like a nice career. Now in New York and California, nobody knew who I was, Chicago, but in like 4 or 5 states in the Midwest, I was ubiquitous. I was on all the time.
Guy.
I was that guy. And it just gave me a lot of confidence. And it took the stress off of like, well, how am I going to make a living? And I no longer had to go around and show my portfolio and say, yeah, I will paint your cats for your tote bags.
Right.
Fail out of that.
So that was terrific. What happened from there? What did that lead to, being
Led to a
the
lot of stuff. Yeah, it led to other spokesman jobs like that for other companies, other grocery chains. I worked for Food Lion doing the same thing. Cash and Carry, a market called Schnucks Market in St. Louis. I worked for them for 5 years. They were very sweet to me, and it was super fun. And I love talking to strangers and meeting people, and real people.
Yeah.
Not like people in LA. Real people. And we had more fun. And they were, in the editing, they did a great job to just pick out these wonderful little magical moments in the conversation. And that then got me attention to do all kinds of weird little things. And but always in the kind of not doing impressions, just being like a kind of a
friendly, funny, witty guy,
improv guy, friendly.
The guy next door, sort of. Yeah.
Yeah. A non-threatening Caucasian.
Right. Yeah.
With a tie, and a microphone in his hand. And I got very used to doing that. So I got offers to do game shows and
I would imagine. Absolutely. Yeah.
Stuff like that. And I was kind of like,
think about it, or
I thought about it for a hot minute, but I went, this was at a time when Pat Sajak was going to have a talk show. You remember the
Yes.
big shuffle of 1992 or 90?
That's when he was going to, that's when he did do it for a short
He
period of
did
time on
for a very short
CBS,
time.
right?
Yeah.
And Dave Koz and Tom Scott were in the band, and yeah,
Oh, wow, you
yeah,
remember more than I do. Yeah,
yeah.
I was approached to take his place on Wheel of Fortune,
Were you really?
but it was gonna be, at the time, because I had these other things going on in New York, I had a lot of improv shows going on, and we were pitching an improv show, a TV show, and I already had the money thing taken care of, kind of with the grocery chain stuff, and so they were like, it was not like a very rich deal,
Were
and it
you
was a
dealing
lot of
with Merv
flying.
Griffin or
No, it was
well,
Disney. It was
it was Disney?
some
Yeah,
sort of Disney thing, and I looked at all the flying I'd have to do and the back and forth and how disruptive it would be, and I went,
because you were in New York, right? If you were on the
yeah,
West Coast, it would
I'd
be
have to go
right.
back and forth so much every weekend to LA and shoot 8 shows and then come back and forth and back and forth, and I just went, this doesn't sound like a very easy time. So my life would have been very different if I'd taken that. I would have probably gotten
Shows
into the game
and
show
yeah,
vortex,
Sphere
which was not my dream.
and he's done it now for what? It's almost 40
Oh
years
God, I
now.
know he's still. I was surprised the other day. I was like, "Oh my God, that's Pat Sajak. He's still doing it."
It's just he and Vanna White, and of course Alex Trebek was doing, for so many years, Jeopardy, the sister show from Merv Griffin, and it's incredible. Some of the Price is Right going strong all these years. Even with the changing climate and the way
Yeah,
people watch TV, or just everything is quick now and internet and all this stuff. Still, the longevity is quite amazing with some of these
it
series.
is, and it's a very particular path. And I just,
Yeah.
it wasn't my dream. It wasn't my dream. It's not my dream. Actually, it's not my dream to like have a room in Vegas and do impressions. So when I did America's Got Talent, they said, the winner gets $1 million and their room in Vegas to perform in. And I'm like, I don't care about first prize at all. First of all, the $1 million is paid out over 40 years.
Is it really?
40 years. You know how it works
That's
out
worse
to be?
than the lottery.
It works out to be 25.
There's no lump
25.
sum option.
Yeah, no, it works out to be $25,000 a year if you live.
If you live, what was that like? Deciding to go on America's Got Talent. Here you are. That just adds a whole other realm. I've got some friends that have been on it, and one of them won American Idol.
Oh my gosh,
But
one American Idol. Wow.
one American Idol, yeah, Nick Fradiani Jr. He what's really interesting about it is it was just a few years ago he won. And he's from the East Coast here. Interesting because he did the 1 year thing that you have to do. You have the record contract, you got to do the touring with everything. And then he's doing his own thing. He's back where his family is. He's back with his original band. He does, solo stuff, and it goes all over, but still he didn't stick with the Hollywood LA thing. He came back east to his roots, and he's doing his thing. Got the money, but he's doing his thing his way, which is kind of an interesting way to have done it. Probably a very healthy way to have done it.
Yeah, and not that easy to do considering those contracts. I know the contract, the America's Got Talent contract, looked very wow. Like if they really wanted to exercise everything in that contract, you felt like, man, I'm not going to be able to wiggle without them knowing about it. But luckily, they didn't in my case, and I didn't win, so which was fine. Yeah, I did it because I got approached. I mean, I had a pretty easy time of it, frankly. I didn't have to audition. I was approached by a producer who had seen me perform somewhere, and he said, I was like, I'd never seen America's Got Talent. I had zero awareness of it, but I thought that it had something to do with amateurs, like it was a talent show.
Yeah, right,
So
exactly,
thought,
like old-fashioned talent shows.
yeah. So I thought, well, I don't really feel like I'm qualified, because I actually do this for a living. And he said,
Right.
no. A lot of stand-ups and people do it. It's kind of like promotion. I'm like, oh, promotion, I understand. So I thought, well, all right, if I could perform, and I'd just been to Radio City Music Hall that winter to see the big Christmas show. And I
Yes.
looked at that hall and I went, oh, what a hall. It's a vast space. And so when he said you could perform in New York at Radio City, I went, Oh, that would be a nice challenge. That would be super fun. So that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I wound up doing. I got to do my 90 seconds, somewhat less than 90 seconds, at Radio City, and I got a standing ovation. And I learned a lot about life.
Yes, I'm sure you did, and I'm sure Mom was very proud, huh?
She was very proud. Yeah, she came out,
Yes.
she flew out and stayed at the Waldorf and came and saw the
Yeah.
show. It was fun. We had a
Really,
good
really
time.
cool. We
But
have
it didn't really lead to what I don't know. I hoped it would lead to something. It
yeah,
certainly got my name out there a little bit, but
yes.
I wasn't inundated with all kinds of attractive offers after that. But I tell you, the thing that's been most in recent years been the best for me has been YouTube stuff. I've had a
Mm,
few YouTube videos on my channel. Everybody should go to my channel and subscribe.
sure.
Costs you nothing. It's right
Yes.
next to his channel. It's right next to Jim Masters' channel.
Yes, it's all alphabetical, like I
Yeah, they're
showed you when
right
he
down
was
there.
on stage doing the celebrity alphabet. It's all
Uh-huh.
alphabetical. When you subscribe to Jim Masters TV, subscribe to Jim Meskimen's channel,
That's right.
and then you got the J's and the M's covered, right? You don't have to go any
Right.
further.
Don't go no further. Anyway, I had a few videos go viral, and that was a big change because YouTube was a little more vital and important than it is today, perhaps. But
Yeah.
it really put me in touch with, I don't know, some people that some really wonderful projects came out of. So I'm very grateful. And I continue to feed YouTube all the time. You see, I'm in front of my celebrity fortune cookie backdrop.
Yes.
Which I do every day. I take a cookie from the bowl and I read it in a celebrity voice on the wheel of impressions. And we always keep that going because you never know. I've gotten work from it, and it's a
Yes.
fun way to keep in touch with people. You
And
know, like you've got your
show.
your fans that are in
Yeah.
good touch with you, and I have mine too.
It's
fun.
kind of like you do the professional work, and then this has been created. This talk show series is created to play off the professional work, to add to the professional work, kind of like what you're doing with Celebrity Fortune Cookie and YouTube channel, because you can call the shots. You do what you do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. There's nobody saying, do it this way, stand here, say that, can't do that. It's you doing it. I have a clip that I just saw this actually the other night. It just randomly came up as a thing to look at, and I've seen it before, and it's really cool. This is what you did a couple of years ago, but it's so good. It's the deeper look into the life of you as an impressionist, and I encourage folks when we show this, listen to his incredible, impeccable impressions, but look at his face closely as you're hearing the impressions. It's really cool, gang, and here it is.
I'm Jim Meskimen, and I wrote a poem about what it feels like to be an impressionist. Is anything more sad and lame, contemptible, beneath disdain, in short, provoking of disgust, than being an impressionist? A third-rate, even fourth-rate skill. The definition of cheap thrill. Like watching farm equipment rust is watching an impressionist. Relic from a distant day that long since should have died away, dishonorably mentioned is the pitiful impressionist.
Weird and slightly ostentatious, tired debris from old Las Vegas,
Whose former fans have long dismissed allegiance to impressionists.
How many opportunities passed up and wasted because he's hell-bound to follow what he must? Pity the poor impressionist.
doomed to live in abject failure, dogged by his own echolalia.
Better to crumble into dust than wind up an impressionist. His borrowed voices can't deflect a life of well-deserved neglect.
His name's on simply no one's lips. Forgotten, vain impressionist.
That sound. Did anybody moan? That creature with the microphone.
Is last on everybody's list. Forgettable impressionist.
When Peter, at that shiny gate, condemns those souls who imitate.
You will but shake a heavenly fist and curse condemned impressionists.
But till that time, we'll tolerate the good-for-nothing reprobate.
And hide the truth that we're just pissed that we can't be impressionists. Oh.
That's better.
They could cast you in one movie and they've got everybody. See how much money they would save?
That special effect there, the deep fake effect, was done by a guy named Shamuk, who lives in England, and contacted me. And now he's quite a name in the special effects business. I think he's working for Lucas now. I think Lucas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff on the
Oh my God! Everybody
Star
loving
Wars
it.
world, the Marvel world. Yeah.
They're all loving it. How did you get involved in Thundercats too? How did that happen?
You know, when I was a young man, and I said I was schlepping my portfolio around, I schlepped my portfolio up to an office, Rankin Bass Productions.
Oh yes, Frosty
And
the
I
Snowman.
met Jules
Rudolph.
Bass, and Jules
Yeah.
said, "We're looking for a storyboard guy." And I said, "Oh, well, you know, I'd worked as a storyboard assistant for a short time at Hanna-Barbera when I was about 18. And although I knew nothing about storyboarding really, I managed to finagle a job at Rankin Bass. And pretty quickly they realized, all right, well, he's not too good at storyboarding, but maybe he could be a character designer. And I went, thank you, God, yes, because that was what I really wanted to do anyway, was do character design. And I had a good time. I designed all the guest stars and all the weapons and vehicles for that first Thundercat show. And I was a little underqualified, but I had a great time doing it. And I eventually, you know, the team that did the animation did a great job with it. And it's a very beloved series. And I've managed to insinuate myself into all the reboots as a voice actor by kind of flashing my credentials as a designer. And they go, oh, well, we got to get you in the show. And I'm like, yeah, I got to get in the show.
That's really cool. What was it like? I mean, Rankin Bass, that's legend, you know, talking about all those Christmas specials.
Yeah, they had Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in a little case, you know, the original little
really?
movable, you know, articulated sculpture that they used in the stop motion animation that they did, and various little tidbits like that. Yeah, it was a lovely place to work. There weren't many people there, actually. We're just a handful of people working there. It was on Fifth Avenue and 53rd Street. And that was a breakthrough too, because I had a real a job, a 9-to-5 job, and as a designer. And I was, I don't know, 24.
Wow.
And used to go to work every day and then do improv at night.
That's incredible, huh?
It was fun. I've had a very fun life, I have to say, you know.
Yes. Well, I mean, blessed too. You even got a chance to cross the Delaware.
Pull together. A little left. Easy. All right. We've all got places to go.
Washington crossing the Delaware Turnpike? Surprising. What's not surprising? How much money Sean saved by switching to Geico.
Big man with a horn.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
For more great videos from the Geico channel, push the subscribe button. No, the button, not the boat.
That is funny.
Yeah, that
What
was
was it like going across the other Delaware?
It was super fun. It was super fun.
That is
yeah, that was a lot of nice prosthetics there for that George Washington job. That's the old school deep fake. That's where they actually got to stick stuff on you.
That's the old school, right? Exactly. Now, there's a lot of cool things I mentioned that you have been involved in of late too. I mentioned Hunters, Gaslit, the Big Door Prize as well.
Yeah, I'd love to talk
Tell us about
that,
some of these really cool things that you're involved in lately, my friend.
Well, you know, I've had a spate of good fortune, and I've been auditioning from home, as we do now. Most of us actors in LA, we're auditioning. We shoot our own auditions, and and I've made my peace with that. I actually kind of like it, because I like to make little movies anyway. So I got a role, a very nice role in a show called Gaslit. That is a limited series that will be premiering on the Starz network on the 24th of this month. So just a couple weeks or less. And
That's very cool. And we actually have a trailer to show. Like
Cool.
you said, it's going to be on Stars.
Yeah.
And congratulations being a part of that. What's your involvement? Where can we see you in it?
I'm a Senator Gurney, who was a real guy, and there's a real nice scene between me and Julia Roberts where I'm making her look not too good, making her look a little loose. So it was a really nice scene, and a treat to work with Julia, and I had another episode where I work with Sean. So I really had a good time, and the director Matt Ross was a terrific director. No relation, but
No
a lovely
relation.
guy.
Here is the trailer or the teaser, aptly named for Gaslit. It's going to be on Stars. That looks really cool, my friend, huh?
Yeah, I was pleased to make it into the end of the trailer there. It was fun.
Yeah. You got in. You made it in the 11th hour.
For an actor, you work on shows and you're really at the mercy of the editor and the producer and showrunner, and they can just cut you right out. And when you see yourself in the trailer, you go, okay, I guess I made it into a movie.
Exactly. Now you just got in, I mean, not that long ago from filming the Big Door Prize as well. Tell us about that. That's a cool one.
The Big Door Prize is from one of the creators of Schitt's Creek, David West Reed. And it is a story about a small town that gets a kind of a high-tech fortune-telling machine dropped in the middle of it that purports to let people know what their true destiny is based on, genetics and other factors. And it basically creates havoc in this little town. And there's a whole bunch of really great characters in the town. And one of them is the Irish actor Chris O'Dowd. I don't know if you know Chris O'Dowd from Bridesmaids. He's a very charming, very funny fella. And unfortunately, I can't say much about it because it's pretty tight-lipped about this show. But it is charming as hell, and it'll be a series on the Apple TV. So I heard a rumor that it might come out this year, maybe in October, which would be amazing because I think they're just finishing the last episode this week or this next week. I finished my part. I did about 4 episodes, and it was a delight.
Absolutely. Austin Field says, I didn't know there was Jim in that Geico commercial. Wow, I love that commercial.
It was a good commercial. It was always funny. Some commercials, when they're little jokes, they wear off after a while, and you're like, yeah, I heard this one. But that one is always, it's a solid premise.
Yeah. Also, Hunters is another production upcoming. Tell us about that one.
So Hunters is a Nazi hunting show on, was it HBO, I think. And so Al Pacino is in it, and it's got a lot of really great actors, and it's dark, and it's not the Nickelodeon Nazi hunting show. So I got to, I can't say too much about that either, because it's also like a really interesting episode. I'll just say that it's like, wow, what if, it's interesting hypothetical. But I will say that I was able to play a character that utilized my ability to speak in a German accent, which is something that I've actually done quite often in commercials and different shows. And for me, that's a great pleasure, because you feel like, I'm really acting now. I get to have an accent. If I get to wear an interesting uniform or prosthetics, then I feel like I'm really doing my job.
Who are some of your favorites that you love to do impressions on?
Well, you ask me my favorite. Right now, I'm thinking about the great Christoph Waltz. Is such a fantastic actor, and he is so intelligent, obviously speaks many languages, and he just got his star, I noticed, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, which I'm sure it would have been completely outside of his imagination just 15 years ago, and now there he is, thanks to Quentin Tarantino.
I also like Tommy Lee Jones a lot, the great actor Tommy Lee Jones. He's a terrific actor. Always seems like he'd rather be doing something else. But he's patient, cantankerous and patient. I like doing Colin Firth's voice very much because he's quite tentative and mannered and just a charming actor that all the ladies seem to be, some degree of infatuation with.
Have you ever done this guy, Mr. George Burns?
George Burns. Well, I'm not an expert at it. You know who is that? Rich Little. But, I can approach it. I've never made a big study of it. But so probably when I'm about 95, it's going to be a walk in the park.
That's it. That is funny.
What an inspiration. Yeah, and I've done Ron Howard's voice a lot.
Yes.
For Family Guy, I did it a couple times. And of course, I work for Ron quite often. I've been in 5 of his films, and I have a lot of respect for him. So much respect that I would like to give him a little airtime. If your listeners or watchers have not read The Boys, this wonderful memoir by he and his brother, him and his brother Clint, it is really charming and really fascinating. It's a story, a very unique story of 2 young men who were both on hit TV shows when they were children on opposite sides of the country, and what that meant to have that experience. And of course, their folks, the father Rance and the mother Jean Howard, had been actors themselves, and they're with varying degrees of success. But when these 2 boys, their careers took off, they each grabbed a boy, went to the opposite side of the country, and helped them with their careers. And it's a beautiful, amazing, mind-boggling story.
That is cool. Now, you starred also in your own series on Pop TV, right? Impress Me?
I did, and it was on it. They took it off for some reason. I don't know where. It's nowhere now. It's in limbo again, which is very frustrating in this day of instant anything. It was called Impress Me. Someday it'll pop up again. If you ever see an ad for a series called Impress Me, it's about 2 impressionists played by myself and a very talented actor impressionist named Ross Marquand, who your viewers may know from The Walking Dead. He plays Aaron on The Walking Dead. But before he did that, he was on a show with me called Impress Me, and we had a hell of a good time. And a lot of really good impressionists were on it. It was a story about, very autobiographical, about people like us who are good at impressions but really want to be taken seriously as actors, and the adventures that we get into thereby. So directed and written by Ben Shelton, who's very, very talented. And we just had a really great time with it.
The viral vignettes, tell us about that too. That's been a pretty cool series.
Well, years ago, 20 or more years ago, I did some promos for a channel that eventually became the Comedy Central. At the time, it was called Ha, with an exclamation point.
Yeah.
I did a ton of promos for that. And I worked for a guy named David Lemmon. Maybe 25 years ago, really long time ago. Anyway, he called me up and said, hey, I've been watching your career and it's great to connect with you again. And I want to do this. It was during the pandemic, and he wanted to do a series of short films on Zoom, kind of like this, kind of like right now, scripted stuff with different actors. And so he created a series of these short films called Viral Vignettes. And the point of it was to keep actors working, create entertainment, and to support the Actors Fund, which is a nice charity that helps down and out actors, which describes almost all of us.
Especially the last 2 years. Yeah.
So I did a one called Common Census, and it was about a census, a woman from the Census Bureau that's calling up this guy who was let's describe him as kind of a hoarder. And at that point in the pandemic, I had a big mustache.
Seasoned collector.
Seasoned, yeah, very seasoned collector of
everything. Yeah.
And there were a bunch of them, and people like Barry Bostwick were involved, and Don Most and Ansem Williams from Happy Days, and quite a lot of actors that you would recognize from past series.
From past series, which is really, really cool. And we actually have a clip of that too. Here it is.
God.
Mom?
Grandma, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Who the hell are you? Listen, I can't stay much longer.
Then get lost.
Is this the planning board meeting?
What is going on here?
Mom!
Oh, God. Breathe, Marshall.
I'm coming
This
upstairs.
was all because of my fault. I'm so sorry.
Daddy!
For God's sake, just take off your shield.
Do you remember the first days of the pandemic?
It was like one of those end of the world movies.
Everybody on lockdown, the stock market crashing.
No sports.
Hi, my name is David Lemmon, and I am the creator of Viral Vignettes, the film that has its origins in that early, confusing period.
The world has gone nuts.
So, a group of talented actors, all well known from movies, TV, and theater, all sitting at home, all climbing the walls.
Bored!
Got together with some talented writers and directors to create a comedy series to benefit the Actors Fund.
We're on quarantine. How are we going to do a benefit?
Separately.
From a distance.
On zero budget.
What about my money?
All volunteer.
It can't always be about you and your financial problems, you know?
Over a thing called Zoom.
Zoom? What the hell is Zoom?
To tell the stories.
You had phone sex with my maid of honor.
Sometimes humorous.
I don't need another therapist. My last one took out a restraining order on me.
Sometimes not so much.
Are you still in bed?
Yes.
Of what we were all going through.
You can't come to my house because I'm practicing the social distancing.
We would love for lots more people to see our work. Our plan, and this is where you come in, is to release these marvelous little episodes as a web series, as individual shorts, and as a feature film so that we can enter them into film festivals.
You're just making the best of a bad situation, I see.
Look, the main thing is we're going to be bringing entertainment to the culturally deprived folks, making our fans happy.
We still have fans.
We've already garnered some awards and critical acclaim, but we can really use your help.
I'll PayPal you the money.
Please create an account on Seed and Spark to follow and support our campaign. Check out our very cool pledge incentives and make a pledge. While we have hit our initial crowdfunding goal, we do have several stretch goals we need to hit and just a few short weeks left to do so. By doing so, you will truly become part of our team. Thank you for your support and for helping us spread the word.
Really nice, huh? What a group of talent. As you're practicing your social distancing.
Social distancing. I shot that in my mom's garage. They needed a place, you know, they needed a background.
She did. It was her garage at the Happy Days farm.
Yeah, the Happy Days farm. Her garage is full of a lot of stuff. I thought if I could set up my laptop in here. Yeah. Set dressing. You got to, location is everything.
Location is everything. Exactly. So what's a typical day like for you? And how's your mom doing? You and I were chatting prior to going live. Some of the viewers have been asking too. How's mom?
Thanks for asking. Mom is doing just fine. She's 93. She's retired. She's enjoying her estate. She still lives at home. We were there actually we brought brunch over, and we had my in-laws come over, and we had a swell time. And, you know, she's got orange trees and lots of flowers right now. It's the springtime. She's very comfortable, very happy, just as charming as ever. She's a sweet, sweet soul. And we're just loving her up and taking care of her and treating her like the treasure that she is. So she sends her love to all of you.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, what a beautiful thing for a son to say about his mother, Jim. I feel the same way about mine. It's just a beautiful thing to say. And I know she feels the same way about you. I absolutely don't doubt. Why do you love doing this work? I mean, you've been doing it for a long time and you've done so many different, areas within the entertainment industry, and you're still plowing through. Why do you love it so much?
I love to get an idea and bring it out into the world. Whether it's something I want to draw or paint, or a little scene that I have playing in my head that I'd like to share with other people, or these days you can share any kind of moment on social media. If you go, wow, the clouds right now are so beautiful to me. I want to take a picture of those clouds and share it with people. We can do it very easily. And I've always had, and I think most people have a desire to share the experience of life with one another, the funny things, the aesthetic things, the dramatic things, the unusual things. And so luckily I've been able to, kind of live off of that impulse anyway. Not always those products, but the fact that I share my life and my ideas with people, other kind of opportunities come in as a result. And so I don't hold back. I try to share as much as I can.
I mean, you do it so beautifully as well. And we've got just another quick clip here we want to show. This one is more recent and it just shows your incredible talent in so many different ways. This is driver's license and 15 celebrity voices. You're amazing. Here we go, gang.
I just got my driver's license last week, like we always talked about, because you were so excited for me to finally drive up to your house. But today, I drove through the suburbs crying because you weren't around.
And you're probably with that blonde girl who's always made me doubt. She's so much older than me. She's everything I'm insecure about.
Yeah, today I drove to the suburbs because how could I ever love somebody else, you know? And I know we weren't perfect, but I just never felt this way for no one. I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. Because you said forever, and now I drive alone past your street. And all my friends are tired of hearing how much I miss you. But I kind of feel sorry for them, because, well, they'll never know you the way that I do. Yeah. Today, I drove through the suburbs and pictured of us driving home to you. And I know we weren't perfect, but I just never felt this way for no one. Oh, and I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. I guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. Because you said forever. Now I drive alone past your street. Red lights, stop signs, I still see your face in the white cars, front yards. Can't drive past the places we used to go to, 'cause I still love you, babe. Ooh, 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 ooh. Sidewalks we crossed, I still hear your voice in the traffic. We're laughing over all the noise. God, I'm so blue. No, we're through, but I still love you, babe. Ooh. I know we weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one. And I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone. Because you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. Yeah. Because you said forever. Now I drive alone past your street. Yeah. You said forever. Now I drive alone past your street. Yeah. Repeat myself. Insecure. Lost the old mojo.
It's incredible. I love the way you were watching, because they don't see it, but in the little screen I can see the guest, and you were doing like a perfect Jack Benny as you were watching.
Not again. Oh my God.
Oh, that's perfect. You and I, before we went live, we mentioned somebody that we both admire, Dick Cavett. Were you able to ever master Dick Cavett's sound at all?
Well, that's it's a matter of opinion, but I think, to my mind, Dick Cavett has a very particular kind of voice. Now, of course, he sounds different than he did when he was young and sprightly, but there's a certain sort of bemusement and questioning in his voice that I think is still there. And I've been told by people that know Dick Cavett that this is that I do a fair job.
You absolutely do, my friend. And there's somebody else who I would love to hear. Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson, yeah. Johnny Carson, of course, was one of the first celebrities that I realized as a young man that I could probably do. As I had him, everyone, he was ubiquitous. We heard him every night on television, and he sort of that voice kind of gets in your head, and the DNA for me of that impression was he had a line that he would sometimes say as a sort of a lead into a kind of joke that he would tell quite often. And it was, well, it finally happened. And then there would be some premise. I can't think of any at the moment, but it finally happened. And when I grasped onto that, it finally happened. I realized, well, I have the DNA of this impression. I can do it forever.
You nailed it. What about Tom Snyder?
What about Tom Snyder?
Remember Tom Snyder?
I do. I remember Tom Snyder, and he was. Nobody has asked me to do Tom Snyder, but he had a very kind of expressive way of talking. He didn't hold back anything he was thinking. And I liked watching Tom Snyder. He really typified the 70s host.
Yes, absolutely. Somebody, I think it was Toby in California, quickly had asked, now, of course, everybody's throwing things in here. Jerry Lewis, John Wayne, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, John Wayne, for sure. A great. Marion Morrison, the same name as my mom. That's the name he was born with, and then he changed it just as soon as he could. Amazing how popular John Wayne still is with people. He cut a wide swath.
He sure did. What's a swath? Have you ever figured out what a swath really is?
Isn't it like
kind of like what's a trajectory?
A swath. That's
not a sloth, folks.
No,
if you're just tuning in,
it's the area, the severed area of a bunch of wheat, isn't it?
A swath.
Swath. Like you take your scythe and you swing it in a broad arc, and you have cut a swath. That is
a trajectory.
Gap in your trajectory. Yeah.
Hey, lady. How about?
Hey, lady.
Yeah. That takes a lot of energy to do.
That's you just got off a plane 10 minutes ago or what?
Probably more. It's a little easier to do Dean Martin at this point, and the way that I feel right now, I'll tell you, Jerry, for God's sake, put down that scythe. Stop cutting a swath. This is Vegas, for crying out loud. You're cutting off the gray-haired ladies or the blue-haired ladies' bangs everywhere you go with that thing. Doggone it.
Yeah. Swaths is what you say. Swath is what you say when you're trying to say slot after too many drinks.
That's right. Yeah.
You actually do one of my favorite actors of all time, Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon. Yeah. And I had the good fortune of working with Jack Lemmon, even at the end of his career, and he was pretty old, and his memory was pretty shot. But boy, he was, as a young man, he was a terrific, one of the best actors around, and at light comedy and even broader comedy, but also drama too. Jack Lemmon was extraordinary. All those things he did with Billy Wilder. I worked with him on Inherit the Wind, and he was,
you did.
It might have been, if not his last movie, second to last movie. Yeah. George C. Scott was in it too, and he didn't. One of his last films too, and it was a great honor to work with those gentlemen.
Absolutely right. Tell us about, again, Celebrity Fortune Cookie, where we can see it. And I know you do this daily, and you've got this. It's sort of like, maybe you weren't going to do Wheel of Fortune per se, but you got your own wheel, and you spin it, and you open up a fortune cookie, and it's really cool, and it goes in many different directions. Tell us about it.
Yeah, you can take the man out of the Wheel of Fortune, but you can't take the wheel out of him. On YouTube, go to YouTube, excuse me, and look up.
Whose cough was that?
Whose cough was that? I think it was Burt Lancaster.
Yeah.
Of cough.
A cough.
Anyway, YouTube, look up my name or Jim Pressions. That's pretty easy. Yeah. And you can subscribe, and you can get a look at Celebrity Fortune. Every day you can get a fortune. And you know what I've discovered after about, it must be 3 or 4 years of doing these every day, is that there are seldom fortunes in fortune cookies these days. There are often little sayings or little jokes and things. And not very often does it come out that it says, today you will, or very soon you will meet, or so I alter them in case they're just not a fortune. Then I create a fortune for the people in the style and the voice of various celebrities.
Yeah, like Burgess Meredith. Burgess Meredith is a great one, and he gets a fortune, and says, everyone gets what they deserve in the end. It's not a fortune, obviously. So I'll change it for you. Are going to get what you deserve, not in the end, but tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Actually, get up at 4 and run up the steps in Philadelphia, and that's when you'll get what you deserve.
Rocky, Twilight Zone, and in the later years, Honda.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he was the Morgan Freeman of his day as far as narrations are concerned.
You know who too? Donald Sutherland.
Yes,
Another.
that's right, Donald Sutherland. Yeah, he has a very Donald Sutherland for me is a voice that barely comes out of his face. Has a little bit of a Canadian accent in there, and terrific performer.
Absolutely. Yeah. Really, really cool stuff. It's really amazing. You get the guys are talking about so many different ones here, but this is really cool. And you're enjoying yourself. You're having a good time. You're working hard, and now things are opening up. You're able to travel a little more. You can get back into the
big relief.
You know.
Yeah, I hope to launch my my show soon. Also, I'm working on a series of online courses for people. So that'll
Yes,
be
because I
released
saw
pretty
something.
soon.
There was a video. I mean, there's a million videos we could have shown tonight, but I didn't want to do all that. But the how to learn to speak like Robin Williams and others. Tell us about that. That's really cool. So you enjoy the mentoring and the teaching and paying it forward too, Jim, huh?
I do. It's such a funny skill, and people do get interested in it. I don't think it's not a huge amount of people that want to do voices particularly, but for those that do, it's a fun kind of way of sharing technique and so forth. So I've done a lot of instructional stuff, and but I actually am constructing courses on how to be a working actor, how to work in voiceover, and also how to do impressions. And those are going to launch really, really soon, within a couple weeks, I think. And that'll be an opportunity for people to really dive deep on what I do, and it's presented very professionally, and hopefully, we'll give people actually everything they need to, if they ever wanted to be a working actor, and they're just, I had a lot of benefit from growing up with Marion Ross because I saw what it took to be a working actor, and what it didn't include, So I've been able to put together the things that I felt were the most key things to really be a working actor. It doesn't mean to be a big star necessarily, but to be a big star, you first have to be a working actor and develop professional habits that will carry you along through the long haul. At some point, you've got to knuckle down and know what you're doing. So those courses will be available very soon. Perhaps you'll see them on social media. They'll be advertised, and you can say, "Oh yes, that's what that fellow told me about. I must purchase mine now."
Buy now, quickly. That's when you'll become
quickly.
Buy
now.
Well, I was going to say, when you do the promos again, are you going to be doing it like you did for Skaggs Alpha Beta? You're going to be the slick supermarket guy, in the produce aisle.
I'll dig that old jacket out of my closet and the red tie.
That's it, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you're having a good time, and obviously, you're touching people's lives as you're doing it, and you're bringing a lot of joy to people's lives. And
well, I'm trying to. These are rough times, as you know. Life is always hard. I've read a lot of history. Apparently, we have it easier in a lot of ways, but life is always challenging. We're a bunch of people on a planet floating out in the vast void of space, hurtling through, the vast yawning vacuum, and trying to make, on a planet that is often at war with itself for silly reasons, and with natural resources that are frankly, not infinite. So we need to spread a message, I think, of empathy, to help one another, to support one another, and certainly try to make the load as light as we can for one another, because it's tough. It's tough for everyone, and artists especially. We're sort of hardwired to do that. We are interested in helping people that way, with our music, with our writing and our ideas. And so I'm fortunate to have a little bit of an audience, and I love to do what I can to make their days a little brighter.
What are some things you learned, teachable moments during the last couple of years in this global experience that we've all gone through? Things about yourself, maybe.
Yeah, I have learned a lot. Patience. Don't wallow in all the bad news, because I think probably you and your audience would recognize that what we call the media have really had a field day with the fact that we were all kind of locked in staring at our screens, and the sheer tonnage of bad news and icky news and disturbing news and sobering news is just unconfrontable. It's just too much. And you can just sort of feel yourself sliding down into a kind of a mass of, inert putty after being exposed to all this stuff. So I've learned to not wallow in it. When I need to know something, I'll go and check it out. But I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, because there are a lot of rabbit holes and a lot of nasty rabbits in them, I guess, digging these holes. And it's much better spiritually and for your health, mental and physical, to concentrate on what you can control, what you can do, what you can make better, and to look on the bright side, which is what Chaplin and other great artists have always, kind of pointed towards for us to do.
Exactly right. Exactly. And you get to do, are you still doing the painting? Is that something you're still doing?
I'm mostly now painting. I do paint in oils occasionally, and watercolors more often. And I've started painting digitally again, which I really enjoy doing, because I can take that with me anywhere. I can paint on an airplane. I can paint in a hotel. And so I've been doing some digital art that I'm having a good time with on my iPad, which I got for Christmas.
That is cool. Jane in Sweden gives lots of claps. And she also says, say hello to your sweet mom, Jim M.
I will.
I love that.
Who did she mean? Was it you or me?
That's true. Is it
your
Masters or Meskimen? It could be
your
both.
Mom.
M&M Productions.
Well, you say hi to your mom, and I'll say hi to mine.
Yeah, you say hi to yours, and I'll say hi to mine. Yeah, I'll say hi to Marion, and you can say hi to Helen.
Helen. Hi, Helen.
And they both end with N's. Are we cousins?
I guess
no,
we
was
are.
that the Home Alone?
That's my Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
And it's also Edvard Munch's The Scream.
Wouldn't that have been wouldn't that have been an opportune time for your Wi-Fi to have frozen? And thanks for being with us tonight, Jim. You're an amazing, extraordinary, award-winning talent. Great fun show from Kathleen Walker in New York City, and it's Kathleen's birthday today. Isn't that amazing? Spending her birthday. Kathleen, not without a cover charge. Jane says, Jim Meskimen, say hello from us in Loverty Hall. I love that. And let's see.
Loverty Hall. That sounds like a place in Yorkshire. Loverty Hall, doesn't it? Yeah, it's probably not. But that's your group, isn't it? Those are your peeps, Loverties.
You're intuitive. You know why? Because the Masters family, my father's side, their ancestry comes from Yorkshire.
From Yorkshire. Oh, well, that is.
And this is Loverty Hall. How, of all the places, I mean, you could have said Newark or something, and you picked Yorkshire. You're intuitive. You're a psychic. You're a medium.
How many? Yes, I'm a medium. Let's see. Actually, yeah.
I'm interested in Yorkshire because one of my favorite painters, modern painters, is David Hockney, who's from Yorkshire and has been painting the Yorkshire countryside for the last little bit and doing a bang-up job of it as well. It's fascinating. And I found out that
Patrick Stewart is also from Yorkshire. You don't hear it in his voice as much, but that's where he's from. So
yeah, you're really. How long does it take you to, if there's somebody you want to zone in on, how long does it take you to, I mean, there's probably no book to it, lesson plan for it, but when there's somebody that you really want to nail, how long does it take to do it, to get it to where you're comfortable enough to then release it to the world?
Well, it depends. It depends. I mean, if it's someone who is already kind of in my general tone and stuff, I don't have to kind of, I look for the age. I listen for any peculiarities in their voice, like a raspiness or a hoarseness or a stridentness or something like that. And I listen to the pitch and if there's any accent, where they're from and how we mix that together. And often at this point, when I hear a voice, I can tell, oh, that's going to be a lot of work, or that's not in my wheelhouse, or, oh no, I could do that.
It's like when I heard George W. Bush the first time, I realized I have to just kind of listen enough to find out some peculiarities and then hone in on it because it's right in my range. And I already know the Texas thing because my daddy was from Texas. Are you still there? Oh dear.
I just wanted to see how long you would hold the smile. Your smile was very nuclear. It was a nuclear.
Nuclear. Nuclear is a word even I have. I think a lot of people have that word.
The way he said it too is the way you moved your mouth, sort of off the side of the mouth, like
yeah. He's got a crooked face because he's ambivalent. He's not sure he should be there.
What about his father?
Yeah, what about his father? Boy, his father was George H.W. Bush, of course, had a different accent completely, had a different way of expressing himself, and apparently knew a lot of secrets because they wired his jaw shut at the end of his life so he didn't spill the beans.
Yeah. That is so true. Christine says, thanks, Jim and Jim, for this entertaining show. You're so talented. As an entertainer, impressionist, Jim, you brought us laughter and smiles to Levity Hall. You're a fun Levity. Love that.
Bless you. Thank you.
And smiles coming from Jane watching
it. All those emojis.
Dwight says, do a Jim Masters impression.
Well, you know, I don't do impressions of people to the person.
Especially when you're on their show.
Yeah, it's not a way to make friends. Even if I could, he says diplomatically.
Where's that cane? Quickly, he's going to do an impression. Where's the cane?
Where's the cane? Yank him. Oh, we're losing the we're losing the signal.
That's right. Jim, can you do Jim? You guys are crazy. He'll work on that. Next time he comes back with announcements and levity, he'll work on that. Thanks for a wonderfully funny show, Jim Meskimen. Thanks, Jim Masters, for having him here. This is his second visit. If you may remember, when his lovely mom, Marion, was on, we were spotlighting her, but he was joining in as well. Which was really, really beautiful. Mike and Dawn, Ginny's music, laughing and loving it as well. And just great comments coming in from everybody. You are the best. Really appreciate all the time. I know you got a lot of things you got to do. You've been very, very busy, and you just got in, yesterday or this morning?
I can't remember. It was yesterday or the day before yesterday. I think it was the day before.
It's
a little bit of extra flying. Anyway, yeah, follow me on Instagram, follow me on YouTube, and I won't let you down. Also, TikTok. I burst through a TikTok if you like that stuff. That's a whole nother.
There's the website too, jimmeskimen.com. You can check everything there. Yeah, I mean, did you ever think you'd say you'd be on TikTok? You thought you'd be sitting on top of a clock or something? If you said that, right?
Yeah, that's a weird thing, man. It really sucks a lot of attention, but I've been getting some love from there lately, so I'm happy. Whatever, I'm trying to reach people. So
that's it. Yes,
I know you understand.
Used to be from Television City in Hollywood. Now it's your bedroom on TikTok. That's it. Well, I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, my friend. You enjoyed the time with me as much as we absolutely have with you, Jim. Continued blessings and joy. Best to you and your family, your mom as well. And we'll keep the porch light on for you. Love having you here, and hope you enjoy the time as much as I did, Jim.
Thanks so much, Jim. I really appreciate it. And I'll give your best to my mom, and she sends love to all of you.
We appreciate that. You be well, my friend, and keep doing the amazing work. Congratulations on all the new projects. We'll look for all of them, and hopefully we'll chat again real soon, okay?
Okay, thanks a lot. Over and out.
Take care. Over and out. Take care. Bye-bye now. He's the best, isn't he? We're talking about impressionists, comedian, voiceover artists, producer, creative, content creator, and so much more. Jim Meskimen joining us here on the Jim Masters Show live. And he was originally with us, as I mentioned, or if you joined late, he was with us when Marion Ross, his mom, was on the show. And if you didn't see that full episode, check it out. It's on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. She was incredibly funny. She was very open about her life, authentic, real. And Jim was on for a little bit, and then he went away, and Marion was there, and then Jim came back a little bit. It was kind of cool. So we had like a double levity there. And then here's a full episode with the incomparable Jim Meskimen joining us here on the show. Again, some wonderful photos of Jim and his lovely mom, Marion. And, you know, it's really cool, even though his mom is Marion Ross. I remember when she was on our show, she said, Jim Masters, you are invited, and I want you to come to the Happy Days Farm. And I'm saying, the Happy Days Farm? What's that? That is her beautiful home in California. She calls it the Happy Days Farm. So hopefully one day we'll be out there. But she was absolutely amazing, and cool stuff. Lots of fun tonight. If this is your first time watching the Jim Masters Show live, Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, did you know there's over 600, almost 650 episodes you can binge watch of our series from guests from Broadway, Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, comedy, inspiration, and on and on and on. Really cool stuff. Spread the word, spread the levity. Tell everybody you know about our series. We're working hard behind the scenes here to give you the best product and content possible, live and interactive, entertaining, poignant moments, some moving conversations, and so much more. Old school style with a modern vibe and modern twist for today. Thanks, Mike and Dawn. Great to have you here. Happy birthday to you, Kathleen, as well. And you had sort of a serenade from me and Jim Meskimen for your birthday. Kind of whistled it, which was kind of nice. Happy birthday to Kathleen Walker, one of our faithful levities and a dear friend as well. And she's in New York City. Hope your birthday is as special as you are, levity Kathleen. That sounds so fun. You should go to the Happy Days Farm, right? To see Marion at Jim Masters TV. Hey, gang, spread the word about our show. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, boy, would we love that. That helps us grow. Doesn't cost a dime. It's just clicking that red button you see on our YouTube channel. And tell everybody you know to subscribe. They'll become levities, which is really, really cool. And click the notification bell so you never miss any of our episodes. And don't forget to give this episode a like. There's a little thumbs up icon you see on all the episodes. Give it a like and also leave a comment on the YouTube channel. Many of you have been doing that, and that's a beautiful thing. So keep doing it because it helps us out big time. If you love the show and you want to support the show, there's many ways you can do that. Super chat, super emoji, super stickers when the show is live in chat. The little heart icon you see on all the episodes, you can click that. That is super thanks. That helps us big time. And of course, leaving comments on the YouTube channel and clicking like on the episodes helps as well. Fun night. Thanks, Jim and Jim. Double Jim tonight, right? You were seeing double tonight. Good night, everyone, from Mary Bishop in Florida as well, and Mona in Louisiana. Good night, Jim and Lovedays. Great show tonight. Love that shirt you have on tonight. Looks nice on you as always. Thank you, Mona. I really appreciate that. Hope you're having a beautiful day there in Louisiana. That's right. Juanita is here from South Africa. Such an amazing, fun show. Thanks, Jim and Jim. Good to see you in South Africa, Juanita. And Jen Barry says, great guest, Jim, or guest Jim. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. I know you have to differentiate. The host and the guest is Jim M. And come back soon. This was his second visit. This is a full visit for him. The first time, again, he was on with his mother, actress Marion Ross from Happy Days. Good stuff. Have him back a third time. We shall. You guys are great. Thank you, Jim, for being here. This was such fun. You're a terrific. And thanks for the song. Yes. Toby in California, she cracked up the entire show. Jane in Sweden says, thanks for a wonderful, funny show, Jim Meskimen. Thanks, Jim Masters, for having him here. Smiles coming in from Mike and Dawn and everybody else. Hey, you know, we have an amazing show, 2 shows tomorrow. We have 2. I know. While everybody else rests on Sunday, we're still here cranking out the content. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern, Cousins Gibb, they are family members of the Bee Gees. Yes, Nick Endicott Gibb is Maurice Gibb's son, and Deborah is his cousin. And they're going to be here live. Cousins Gibb, yes, he is in London, she's in Australia, and they're going to be here together. They are family members of the Bee Gees. You got it. That's right. Andy and Barry and Robin and Maurice. They're going to be here. The Gibbs will be here. Cousins Gibb. And we're so excited about that. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific tomorrow. And that'll be 7 p.m. in the UK and Ireland as well. And then tomorrow night, we're having lots of fun celebrating our childhoods. We've got all these photos of many of you as a child, and we're going to do something different and something fun. Like I said, I like to have a lot of fun with this show and do a lot of different things, just like an entertainment lifestyle variety talk show would do. So tomorrow, live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV and the Jim Masters Show live series. It's a JMS Lovity special celebrating our childhoods. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to all be kids tomorrow. And we're going to show some of the photos of our Lovity viewers that they've sent in to us here at the show. Don't miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be showing you my childhood photo or two as well, but many of you have sent those photos in, and everybody looks fantastic. So we're going to showcase those during our Celebrating Our Childhoods JMS Lovely Special. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lighthearted, something to inspire, take you away from the negativity of the news of the day. You know, there's so much craziness going on out there. So we're always trying to do what we can to put smiles on your face and entertain you and educate, inspire, and all the rest that we do here. I see a lot of comments still coming in. Thanks for all these great comments, gang. You guys really are the very best. And let's take a look at a couple more before we wrap up here, and then we will say sayonara for the evening. Wow, look at the comments piling in here live. Again, you can comment live when you're subscribed to a YouTube channel. That's a gift, but we would love it even if you don't comment during the show. We would love it if you subscribe to the YouTube channel anyway, because that really does help us grow continually. And you're counted in. You're actually part of the Lovity family, and cool stuff. All right, let's see. A couple of comments. You're a genius at work. Dwight, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Very kind of you to say that. And Jane says, the two Jims should sing for you, Kathleen. We did. We actually whistled for her. We did that earlier, which was wonderful. Kathleen. And Jim Meskimen is a genius at work as well. Thanks, Jim, and lovely friends for all the birthday wishes. You better believe it. You always have every fun show, Lovely Jim. Thank you very much. I try to make all the shows as fun as possible. Can we have a night where someone interviews you, Jim Masters TV? That's a cool idea. I think maybe I should do that. I should have somebody on and do a role reversal, you know, get one of my colleagues and have them do a role reversal. That'd be kind of cool. It's happened a couple of times to me as well on PBS and elsewhere in my professional work. Thanks, Jim. Jims with the big S, Jims, for a really enjoyable show tonight. I was totally impressed with Jim's talent and all his impressions. Happy birthday again, Kathleen in New York City, Kathleen Walker. Good night, Jim Masters, and all the lovely hugs. You as well. Thank you very much, Christine. She's in North Carolina, USA. Dwight says, love the new hairstyle. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Not as long as it used to be. Still kind of long, but right there in the middle, which I really like. It's right there in the middle. So I can, when I need it for professional television work, it's nice, it's professional. If I want to mess it up, it sort of goes, you know, in many different directions. I can have it cool and casual on the weekend. So it's right there in that happy medium, which is nice. Not too long, not too short. Thank you, Merlin in Canada as well. We're snowing, right? You had some snow today there in Canada here in early April. We're coming up on almost 2 years of our series, which is absolutely amazing. The end of April, we will have been on the air for 2 years straight almost every day, 650 episodes plus. And that is amazing. Sometimes we've done 2 shows a day. Like tomorrow, we're doing 2 shows, 2 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern. Special, really cool shows for all of you. So this is your host, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time till next time. We don't say goodbye around here. We say see you later. We say slancha. We say cheers. We say moi loop. We say shalom. We say alvida zain, sayonara. But we don't say goodbye because we'll always be here. Have an awesome Sunday, friends. Restful sleep. Peace. We'll be here Sunday too. If you guys ever miss anything, thank you, Sue. Thank you very much. So great to have you here, Sue. Always great to have you here. And I was going to say that, what was I going to say? Who knows? That flew out the window, in and out. Who knows what I was going to say? Or maybe I was still talking about we don't say goodbye, right? We just say see you later because I'll be here in the chair. I'll just change my shirt. I'll keep everything just like this. I'll keep all the lights on. I won't touch the hair. And I'll keep it like this. And I'll just be here waiting for you at 2 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific. And then 7 o'clock, the Celebrating Our Childhoods episode. It's going to be really, really cool. All right, we're going to wrap up. Thanks for being with us, gang. You're the best. This is your host, Jim Masters. Thanks for watching this episode of the Jim Masters Show. We thank Jim Meskimen for joining us here live from Los Angeles, California. Celebrity impressionist, comedian, voice artist, content creator, producer, son of actress Marion Ross. A lot of fun. He rolls with it, and that's what I love. You know, the guests never know what I'm going to ask. We don't script anything. There's no questions. We don't make this boring and stiff. We don't call these interviews. We call this conversation, like talk shows have, not interviews. An interview is somebody sitting right across from me, and it's like, hey, this question, that answer. This question, that answer. Blah, blah, blah.